What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I know it's been going on for a little bit of a minute here. I had to find a piece of equipment, but hey, we're here tonight for the Black and White and Red All Over podcast. Except for tonight, apparently it's just a couple of white boys. The black portion of our show has been detained, and they cannot be here.
Hold on.
I don't know. I didn't.
Are you allowed to say that?
I did not mean that the way it sounded. But no, hey, we got a great show for you tonight, I think. We're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff, and we're just glad that you're here for it. So let's get started with the Black and White and Red All Over podcast.
Quite often, people choke on a piece of food they're eating.
Right. What can you do for them?
Well, if I were choking, you'd stand behind me, wrap your arms around my waist, then make a fist with one of your hands and put it against my abdomen with your thumb against my body, slightly below my rib cage. Grab your fist and press in and upward. You might have to press and push up more than once. Try it again. It's important to get it right. Someone's life may depend on it.
That's right. Your life might depend upon this.
Could we ask Mr. Dempsey and Marion if that comment was okay?
We can. Would you like a hit?
No, I'm good, bro.
They were detained at home.
Hold on. Can I FaceTime with Marion? How does that work?
You could.
All right. FaceTime with
What's up, everybody? I'm Enosh.
Micah.
He's got like this light thing going on here. What's up, everybody? Good to see you all tonight for another episode of this, which is an experimental thing. I don't know what's going on here, Micah. Like, why is this so bright over your head?
Because you have lights over my head.
I do. I have lights over your head. Uh-oh.
He's on.
You know what? Actually, I could probably call him via this. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can do that.
Oh, he's also working right now.
Oh, he's working.
So
okay, so we can't do that. All right, so
he can do.
So we can't do. All right. So,
he's got the Monopoly money.
Okay, so you're on the air, man. What's going on, Amarion? We're just sitting here. We just started the podcast, and I mentioned that the two black guys in our show detained.
Sorry, I'm counting money right now.
You're counting money? You put it in the vault?
Yep.
All right, well, we're going to let you go because this is not riveting at all. This is quite boring, actually.
I just wanted to say what's up. Later, bro.
See you, Marion. Oh, now we get a face shot at the end. All right. Hey, so what's going on, Micah?
Just wanted to come hang out. You know, it was a rough week. I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of a rough week at work, you know, as you know. And you know, I'm 22, so I always look forward to boys' nights on Friday nights. And so, you know, this is my boys' night for the night. We're hanging out.
This is your boys' night? That's cool. So you wanted to come over here and see me?
I mean, Mr. Demps was gonna come over too, and
You sure it was me that you wanted to see?
yeah, no, I.
Or was it me?
Oh no,
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I saw you coming a mile away.
we're not playing this.
And
right now,
close
bro.
up as well. Micah is here to kiss them all. Everyone knows that Micah loves them all. Right, Micah?
Definitely not.
Oh, yes, you do. Kiss it.
I'm good.
Kiss it. Kiss it.
I'm good.
Give it a little kissy, kissy.
No,
Give it a little kissy.
I'm good, bro.
I give you a kissy. Come here, Micah.
No.
Oh, come
I have
on.
to fight you.
I will bite you. Oh, bite you, I say. That's a tough shoulder. I do this to Micah at school where like I don't have the puppet. So I walked up to him one day. He's like, "You don't have the puppet?" I'm like, "That's because I'm naked. This is what I really look like under the puppet."
And kids don't get it either.
No.
Was it today? I think it was a 7th grade lunch, and I look out, and you're just standing out the window of the cafeteria, just like this. And I was standing at a table talking to kids, and I'm like, guys, look up. And they all started laughing. They had no idea what it was. All they see is you're,
Because the hand is just looking at him through the window into the cafeteria. And I was starting to say, I don't know if you noticed what I was saying. I was like, "Hello, is it me you're looking for?"
No, you were like a long ways away. So.
Oh, okay. So you couldn't tell it.
And
So what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. Let's see what we got. We got Cherie in here. What's up, Cherie? Now the both of you have so many angel lights shining on you now. I know, right? I gotta do.
angels.
Yeah, I gotta do this. Like I gotta figure out a way to. If we won't always do the show in here, but we just happen to do the show in here. The mole demands it.
Not happening.
Enosh, your forehead is sort of cut off. What? Camera is pointed too low. How's that?
And now they're having angelic light shining in their face.
Welcome to my living room. What's up, Mask of Shy? What's going on? Cherie says, "Hey, Micah, I hope that's how you spell it."
Yes. Cherie gets it right, and you didn't. He had to double check to see how my name was spelled before we started.
Cherie's like, "Oh, dear
Kind of
Lord."
hurts my feelings.
Says, "Oh, dear Lord, detained."
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful how you phrase that.
Yeah, you really do. What was it that you said when I pulled up to the front door? You asked if Amaya was going to be here. I said no.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say? I forgot, but it was hilarious.
I said the black portion of our black and white and red all over didn't show up.
Yeah, something like that. Just the way you said it, I was dying.
Yeah, that's funny. We will get. I will get to the Kevin Conroy stuff. Absolutely. I will also be on the vodka stream tonight.
what?
And the vodka stream. That's my friend Dave.
Okay, what is it?
It's a show. My friend Dave lives out in California, and he does a show every Friday called the Vodka Stream, where the premise of their show is that everybody on the show just basically drinks all night. I don't, so it's kind of sometimes
it's a funny dynamic.
So sometimes there's a funny dynamic, yeah. Especially like when the show has gone 4 or 5 hours,
and everyone's just plastered. Maybe someone's hanging off the side of the table, and you're like,
sometimes, yeah. It's an interesting show. It's a great show though. Dave is awesome. Dave is very, very, very well connected. You know, he's one of those people that have met this guy. You may have heard of him. His name is Zach Snyder. You know, this guy that other people just talk about, but they don't really know. Have you heard any good rumors this weekend, Micah?
not me. I'm not really. I don't really pay attention.
He's
to that.
not in the know. He doesn't know about all of our internet battles and fights and
Not at all.
and stupidity. Who else is here? Jeff Glaffelty. What's up, Jeff? Good to see you, my friend. These are all people that you'll get to know. Lane Adeli, dude. Excuse me. Lane Deli is really, he's a great guy. He's a great guitar player. He's in Morocco.
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
You don't know what Morocco is?
No.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
And you're
I'm gonna
working
be-
at
I'm
a
gonna be
school and you
23
don't
next
know
month.
geography.
I thought you were talking about a band. I'm not gonna.
Oh, you thought the band was called Morocco. Thank
Yeah.
God.
Well,
Thank God, Lane.
You were talking about.
No, he's in a band, but I was like, he's in Morocco. Okay, I get. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that one. All right, I apologize.
Talking about Morocco, Russia, right?
No.
I went out on a limb. And
No, it's in like the continent of Africa.
Where is the city of Morocco located?
The city of Morocco.
It's not a city, is it?
Lane, I am so sorry. We're gonna educate this white boy. I swear to God, we're gonna educate. That's why I got two black people on
According to
this.
this, it's in
on
Indiana.
the show. It's not in Indiana.
That's what it says right
Indiana.
there.
It's
Yes.
not in Indiana, for God's sake.
Morocco is a town in Beaver Township, Newton County, in the U.S.
Beaver Township. God.
in the state of Indiana. The population was 1,129 at the 2010 census. Shout out to Morocco, Indiana.
Shout out to Morocco, Indiana. Much love. Hey, speaking of shout outs, a couple of things that we have to do at the beginning of the broadcast here is to shout out to bullysticksdirect.com, sponsors here at the Poindexter Lounge. And look, I got a couple of things, guys. You guys can see here. You guys always see when I put up the bully sticks right there, and those things are great. And go to bullysticksdirect.com. Use code Poindexter for 10% off of your order. There's all kinds of cool stuff that you can get there. It's all natural dog treats. You got braided bully sticks, turkey tendons, taffy gullets. You ever try a taffy gullet?
No.
You should try a taffy gullet right here on the show.
Why?
Because I would just like to see you try a taffy gullet. Will you try a taffy gullet? Seriously?
Dude, why does this feel like it's...
I believe it is human grade.
What does that mean?
I do have turkey. Yeah, so...
It's... You said it's human grade, like...
Does that mean it's edible?
I mean, I guess it works because your dogs are flocking back to me again.
Yeah, okay, so I do have a couple things. I do have, I got turkey tendons back there, if you want to try a turkey tendon.
What?
Turkey tendons. They're you know what, they're like beef sticks, but they're like...
So it's not from KFC?
It's not from KFC. No, it is not.
So is this actually edible?
Look,
Honestly,
you want me to
get
give some to the dogs?
I'm good.
Look, you can have a pork curly Q.
I'm good.
Pork Springs, right there, from Bully Sticks Direct. You sure?
Yeah.
Whoa. Chill. Okay, hold on. Look at the dogs. Look at this. Greg, if you're watching, dude, check this out. Okay, hold on.
Dude, for the TikToks you have to make, you could just cut up a short little thing of the dogs going crazy right now.
I know. This
Put
is
it on
perfect for
TikTok.
TikTok. Ready? So, Greg, this is for you, buddy. You can watch. Look here. Marty. Jeez. Toggle. You guys can't see this. I was trying to get him up here so you could see it. Marty, come here.
He's going crazy under the table.
Come here. Marty. Okay. Harley. Oh, see, there he is. Okay, there he is. Oh, there he is. You like that?
And now there's
he
the
likes it.
wires.
Whoa. Hey, dude.
They're going
Jeez,
crazy.
Pete. Okay. So, Harley, do you want a curly spring? Oh, there it is. Okay. And Wookie, do you want a spring or do you want a you want a gullet stick, don't you? Gullet stick. Oh, like, he's always so nice about it. He's so polite.
You want any coffee?
As soon as I finish this stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bully Sticks Direct, folks. Go get your bully sticks for your dogs. Your dogs will be happy that you did. Your dogs can be as happy as mine. For sure.
That's a good tagline.
My dogs,
use that.
yeah, my dogs are so happy right now that they have bully sticks. It's almost like they got a scoop for Zack Snyder coming back or something. I don't know.
Are these references going to come all night?
Maybe. It's the only thing that's going to come all night. Because they're hilarious jokes. All right.
I shouldn't be laughing at that.
Every time I make Michael lose his mind like that.
That was losing my mind.
You know what's up?
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. We got a lot of love in this house.
I can tell.
All right, go. Hey, what's up? Jay Casale says, yo, Enash, how's it hanging? All over the place right now. What's up, Sharif? Says, I always check. I've been on the receiving end of butchered names. Okay. What's up, Aaron? Good to see you, Aaron. Says, hello, Enash and Micah. Hey, Tiff, do you want to come say hi? Okay. Says Dave Pena. He's fun. Enash is the sober friend. Brings back college memories for me of being the sober friend.
Yeah.
Lane says, LOL. He just gave me a great idea. Uh-oh.
Oh,
What's up, Tim Possible? This guy looks, you know who, you've watched Star Wars, right?
yeah.
Who played,
There's Reese's iced coffee.
Yeah,
yeah,
there is.
Reese's,
Do you want any?
Yeah, you want some?
Maybe.
You can take whatever you want. I also brought half a dozen fruit punches.
You can have whatever you like. The guy who plays Kylo Ren, Adam Driver.
Yeah.
You know Adam Driver?
Yep.
So Tim looks
cool with
just
Adam
like Adam Driver.
Okay.
The first time I ever saw Tim, I did a call-in show, and Tim was in the back room, and all of a sudden Tim pops up, and I could see his little box pop up there, and I swear to God, I freaked out for half a second because I just
you
put the
thought it was
link.
Adam
I put the
Driver.
link out there, and I was like,
I know what I need to do, but I don't know
here,
if I have the strength.
yeah, here,
to
I'll
do
show
it.
you. I'll show you. The dude, I mean, and he knows too, because like everybody, and he plays it up, man. Girls love it. Where is he? Tim Possible. He does great TikToks too. He's got a great TikTok channel. Look at the guy,
Yeah, that looks just
Oh,
like
dang.
him.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, and he cosplays as
Wouldn't
as-
you?
Heck yeah. I mean, if you looked like him, wouldn't you? I would. He's a good guy.
Tim
Tim's a good-
Possible and Tiff-tastic.
Tim's a good guy. Tim Possible and Tiff-tastic. The Adventures of Tim Possible and Tiff-tastic. Yeah. So, anyways, that's it. See, he's in North Africa near Spain. That's where Morocco is,
Okay.
not Morocco, Indiana.
I figured that. It was just this was Siri said.
Sure he goes. Micah, no. Marty, Harley. What's up, Cisco? Good to see you, man. Says evening, Enosh. R.I.P. to the great Kevin Conroy, a.k.a. Batman. Did you see that?
Yeah, that he passed. What
Yeah.
from?
From cancer. From a short battle with cancer. Look, and before we talk about Kevin Conroy, you know who else passed today? Gallagher.
What?
Yeah. You know who Gallagher is?
I don't know who.
I hang out
any
with
of
so
them
many
are.
young people, Tiff. Like, my whole life is...
There's so many times that I'm at work and I say something. I'm like, wait a minute, you're 10 years younger than me.
I know.
You have no
my,
idea who I'm talking
my
about.
best friend is like 13 years younger than me. He's as old as my youngest sister. And I always forget, he's an engineer. He's very, very smart. Very, very
Gallagher wore
well-rounded.
stripes. He had like
He had a
missing hair.
big sledgehammer, and he used to like whack
watermelons.
watermelons. He was a comedian. He had a big
Kinda
mustache.
like Carrot Top, but
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Kind of like Carrot Top, but different. That's the important
I'm
thing
on
to
Date
take from
Club,
that.
Leave me alone.
That's the important thing to take from that. I like this dynamic, actually, though. I like this show. This is the show right here. This is your show, folks, for the night. But look, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact that today is the 1-year anniversary of my grandmother's death. And
Veterans Day.
and Veterans
And
Day,
your
yes.
sister's anniversary.
Hey, lots going on today. Yes, so happy Veterans Day. Thank you all for your service. Those of you who serve, I know our good friend William, as old as he has served in many different armies for over many generations, and like I think he served in the Moroccan army, or something. I know he served back in Rome, and it was somewhere near Egypt, right? So like he served, I think, under Pharaoh.
Was he during the crucifixion?
I think he was one of the. I think he
Wait.
was one of the centurions. It was like, truly, this man was the Son of God.
Is this the guy that was coming in before I got here last time, and you guys were talking about pimps or whatever, and he started
Yes,
coming in with
yes,
the-
that's
yeah,
William.
Okay.
Yes, that's William. Yes,
Okay.
that's William.
I had to
yes.
go back and rewatch it.
But yeah, thank you. But seriously though, hey, much thanks to all those who serve. Appreciate you so much. And today's my sister's 11-year. No, it's 11.
She posted it. It's year 12.
She got married in
11,
2011.
11. We're in 2022.
Yes, this would be 11 years.
She posted 12. That's all I'm saying.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 would be
Okay.
11.
Well, she posted 12. That's all I'm saying. That's fine.
Did she? Are you sure?
Math wasn't my strong
Because
suit, so
that
I'm
because
staying
that was
on
that well
this.
because that was actually one of the tough things, because the day that my grandma passed, my grandma had just passed. It was like 8 a.m, and I had gone up to the calendar. I was just looking at the calendar, and I was like 11 11.
sound
I was like,
familiar?
why is that? And then I went, oh my god! And there's my sister, like leaned over my grandma, and it's her 10th wedding anniversary. You know, I mean,
So there's a lot today.
yeah, that's a lot to process, and I felt so horrible. I went over and I just held her.
Grandma's year and Veterans Day. It's like.
But
And you're choosing to hang out with me.
I am.
So honored.
But grandma was awesome. Everybody knows, like when we were running for the Snyder Cut and everything, grandma actually recorded this for us. And, it's pretty cool.
Welcome to the Point Dexter Lounge. I'm Enosh's grandma, and I say yes, release the Snyder Cut.
That's right. Even grandma knows. Congratulations, Zach. So, yeah. So, love grandma. Love her a lot, and miss her for sure.
Our church is also having a memorial lunch on Sunday.
Yeah, they were having a memorial lunch on Sunday. Sheree says, Enosh, that's great advertising.
It was.
Wookie.
That was also 8 minutes ago.
All night, Micah.
Cool
yes, we simp for Zack Snyder. What's up, Anthony Belche? Good to see you, my friend. This whole show could just be you feeding the doggos. I know that would.
It could.
I should do a Bully Sticks direct show. Cherie says Tiff, by the way.
With like 7 hearts.
And Lane Deli says, hey Tiff, I'm glad to see you on the stream. I tell you, people miss you, babe. People miss you. Did you watch Batman the Animated Series at all?
No.
That's way before your time too.
I mean, I actually do want to watch that, but I don't have the time to watch it, and I also don't even know where it would be streaming on because there's like 11.
Oh, it's on HBO Max.
HBO is actually the one streaming platform that I do have.
Yeah, so you should watch it.
Hold on, let me download HBO on my phone and save it before I.
But yeah, Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman for a whole generation, passed today.
So that's who it was. Okay, because I kept seeing his name on social media, but I didn't know who it was.
Yeah. So my grandma's up there with Batman right now.
Or
I know, man.
Batman's up
Time
there
flies.
with your grandma.
What's that?
Depends on how you look at it. It could be Batman's up there with your grandma
That's what I'm saying. My grandma's hanging out with Batman now.
and Jesus.
And Jesus is there too. Batman's there, right? Plenty of other people who played Superman. Christopher Reeve is up there somewhere. Batman and Superman. My grandma's hanging out with him. And, and Jesus.
I mean, isn't that the point?
I'm sure my grandma got into pearly gates and she was just like, hey, what dead celebrities are here?
Hey, Jesus, but I see John Wayne over there. Let me go say hi.
Hey, Pilgrim. Cherie says, hey, now this is a math show. Yeah, I remember the first time I saw you on your stream. Aw. Lane Deli says Dire Straits in the background. Hell yeah.
Who? I don't know what that
Dire
means.
Straits. Do I have something Dire Straits in the background? Do we have Dire Straits in the background? What are you talking about? We don't have Dire Straits in the background. What are you talking about, Lane? You got Dire Straits. That's a great sweatshirt you're wearing.
I know, right?
It's a great sweatshirt.
Yeah.
The only thing we have is
pillow.
Queen.
It's Queen, bud.
Queen, Joan Jett, and Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Big butts and we cannot lie.
That's because we like big butts and we cannot lie. Yeah.
Is that a reference to something? Because
Well, he was talking about the video. Of my yeah, you're right. He is right. In that video, Dire Straits is playing in the background. Good ear, man. Dang, are you listening on headphones? Jeez. BVS, Dawn of the Heavens. Nice. So what's going on, man? What do you want to discuss tonight? What's on your mind?
I didn't have anything that I wanted to be like, oh man, we can talk about this, but if we get into a conversation,
I mean, like, you're just down for anything?
literally,
Naked wrestling?
probably not that.
I mean, I know you're into wrestling,
I am.
and I'm sure you're into being naked. What if you combine the two? What would that look like? And go.
I don't know. I'll have to practice with my wife someday after I find one. And until
You heard
then,
it here,
we
folks.
shall never know.
Mike is looking for a woman.
Nah, not necessarily.
We're gonna get him hooked up.
What
was that?
I'm a little nervous if my boo is, you're trying to find her.
Why is that? I feel a little insulted now. I feel a little hurt.
No. I love you, but I don't know if you know me enough yet to find the her. You know what I mean?
You act like you come to the Poindexter Lounge and it's just.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
I'm hurt, man. I tell you what, I'm hurt. I'm hurt.
sorry.
It's very hurtful. It's very hurtful.
I mean, look, in your defense,
Mm-hmm.
there is probably 2 people on this planet that I would trust with finding my person.
Okay. And who is that?
My pastor.
Good. Good. Who you've known for a long time.
For years.
Close personal friend.
Yep.
Yes.
And
And
then,
me.
And then my other pastor.
And me.
Well,
Who you've known for like 5 months.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Well, you know what? When you do, take her to the lunch trench.
The what?
The lunch trench.
All over town, people are talking about the lunch trench. It's the ditch where you can eat your food.
I feel like that's something I could have done back in high school. Not anymore.
No? No? Am I boring you?
No. You asked me what I want to talk about, and I'd keep like lists of like stuff that I have thoughts on, and
Okay.
just in case we need to dig into it, I guess.
All right. What kind of list? I'm very interested in this thing.
Like it's a massive thing, and
Yeah.
so I want to see his thing.
Enosh, what do you want to talk about?
You do you, boo, right?
Whatever you want to talk about, man. What's on your mind? Here, I'll start you off with a topic.
I hate the word content. When people say they're putting out content, it means they're putting out garbage filler material because they have nothing to say. With that being said, I have now completed my content for the day.
That makes sense.
Does it? Or
I think I'm going to eat a taco. A taco. I think I'm going to eat this taco. This taco.
Now I'm hungry.
it's all because of me. But you know what's great, guys? You know what you guys are going to see for the first time is you're going to see Micah react to a bunch of my drops that Mike has never seen. You've never seen some of these drops. Some of these drops get a little crazy.
As long as you don't bring up the picture again, we're good. No, you can't.
Why?
Because you brought it up like 300 times on the last one, dude.
It was good though. That's why.
It was funny for a bit. No, you know what's was.
Have you all seen the picture? Everybody watching tonight, have you seen the picture?
You can show it one time for context.
I can show the
One
picture.
time.
Okay. Micah said I can
One
show
time
the
for
picture.
context.
I showed it last night on my stream. That's why it's right here, ready to go.
No, but you know what's funny is I actually, so after we did the first one, I went and I watched it like probably 3 days after that.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't even remember what we talked about. I just remember I had a lot of fun. So I'm watching it again, and I was watching it in my living room, and I still live at my parents' house, right? And so I have the sound on because for the most part it was pretty clean. And then my mom hears us talking. She's like, "Who is that?" And she comes over, she starts watching, and she thinks it's hilarious. And then my dad gets home.
Uh-oh.
Like probably an hour into, I'm watching it. And my dad is, his sense of humor is a little bit more strict, I guess.
Okay. And he saw the picture?
The first time the picture came on.
Oh, boy. What did Dad think of this picture right here?
He didn't say anything, but I paused it at that point. I was like, it doesn't get any better. So I paused it. And I was like, okay.
Like, Dad, I'm sorry. It doesn't get any better from here. Dad, it just devolves from here.
I was like, I got nothing to say. I'm going to go to bed. I love you guys.
And you left them there watching the show?
Yeah.
You didn't even watch the show with them. You just left your mom and dad sitting watching our show.
I mean, I don't even know if they finished it or not, to be honest. But at least my mom thought it was funny.
So they may not have finished, but never mind.
I was saying, where are you going with this?
I don't know. Where I was asking where you guys were going with this. I mean, Omarion looks like he's pretty happy in the end.
Hold on. I just want to point something out.
Yes, okay.
Zoom in.
Zoom in, okay. On this one right here? On this one right here?
You can clearly see No, not that far.
Dun, dun, dun.
Not that far.
Dun, 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 dun,
Not that
dun,
far.
dun, dun.
Okay.
Okay, right here.
A little bit more out.
A little bit. Okay.
You can clearly see. I just want to point this out that I'm writing on the chair.
Oh, so
And
you're journaling your experience while you're there.
No, where I was going with that is that's the one thing I said to my dad. I was like, Dad, here's the context of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
I was writing something down. It was a funny picture. And then I pointed the hand out to him, and I'm like, nothing was going on. I mean, obviously, like, he didn't think there was, but he's like, why are you guys sitting there joking about this?
Lane says, one single advice to Micah: you don't go look for the woman of your life. She comes to you out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I'm not looking at all. I've been on one single date in 2.5 years.
And Cherie, yes, Dad's sense of humor above board. Micah's sense of humor below board.
Apparently.
What's up, Larry? What's up, my friend? Yes, lots of. Where you want a Clovey drop? I'll give you a Clovey drop. You know who Clovey is?
No.
It's this guy right here.
Nicotina's mom! Oh, yeah! Nicotina's mom! Tastes like sugar! Yum! Stripper! Dawson! Dawson! Why did you say that name? Scotch! Scotchy, scotch, scotch. There it goes down. Down into my belly. Kind of a big deal. That escalated quickly. I love this song. Ah! What a time to be alive. I want to shave my balls. Balls. Balls!
Context is everything. We used to know a guy who like did commercials for one of those companies that want you to shave everywhere.
Yeah.
And so
Manscaping.
Manscaping. Yes.
John Cena! Drugs!
It's on that
Me and my friend Dawson, we just like went off on one of these like one night, and I just kept making.
Where is it? Where is the cocaine?
Wait, so how many do you have?
This is the last one.
I'm in a coke field rage.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So there you go. I like that one.
Super Bowls. What's that? Play that.
What do you want? Super Bowl?
Super Bowls.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Oh. Oh.
See, they can't hear you when you're reacting.
No, I know.
When that's playing, but that was
that's
hilarious.
Uncomfortable.
Cherie, I played all the Clovey drops for you, so there you go. Yes, you're right. Dawson laughing in the background makes it so much better. It does. It really does. It really does. Did you feel uncomfortable with the Super Balls drop?
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be funny, and now I want to puke.
Well, how about this one? How does this one make you feel?
It's funny because the kid starts crying at the end.
I love. Okay, how about this one? How does this one make you feel?
No comment.
Nothing.
No.
Okay.
No. Oh, what's that one? What's it? Suck It, Warner.
Oh, that's Zack Snyder. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's old.
Suck it, Warner Brothers. Suck it.
Wow. His words, not mine. But yeah, suck it, Warner Brothers.
Yes.
Oh.
I also like this one. It's a commercial for Walmart.
Okay.
For new product. Everybody loves new products, right? At Walmart.
Does your butthole itch? Does it just ache? Do you walk around all day wishing you had a different butthole? Well, now you can. Available at Walmart for a limited time only are scratchless, scentless buttholes. Don't be self-conscious about your hole anymore. Go to Walmart, get a new butthole, and start your new life today.
That's making me feel very weird.
Oh, that makes you feel weird?
No, yeah, like for some reason.
Then how do you feel about this?
Hey, I want to show you the coolest song intro I ever wrote. I'm going to start with one finger on the G string. You're going to grab the G string and slowly slide it down and pull off the G string, and then get your hand on your D right there. Now, while your hand is on the D, you want to start sliding your pinky into the A up here. Okay, after you've slid your pinky into the A a couple times, you get a nice open A like this. All right, now the song gets a little strange here. All of a sudden, there's 4 BBCs that show up. So we have BBC, BBC, BBC. On this last BBC, I'm going to bend, so that's going to be a big bent BBC. And that's all warm up to get to F.
Oh.
That's the intro to the show, right there.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
The mole is coming for you. Just saying.
I think we should retire the mole. I think we should retire the picture.
That's me as Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Is there a problem? Do you have a problem?
I'm gonna respect my elders.
Okay. Oh. Hey, you know what? William's not here.
It's like a lot of different tentacles and like massive stomach.
How to eat a testicle in 4 steps. Step 1, peel back the skin.
Oh.
Step 2, cut it in half.
No, we can't. How do you turn this off, bro? You
Can't.
got it.
It's stuck. It's
no,
on now.
Step 3, scrape off the nut meat.
That's disgusting.
Back on camera, come on.
Take a bite of that nut.
Oh.
It's high in protein.
I don't want to find out.
I'm just saying.
That's nasty.
A lot of people like swear by that stuff, man.
They swear by eating testicles?
They swear by it. They literally swear by eating testicles.
That's...
Hello, ladies. Welcome to the barbecue.
Oh, that one you like.
It was funny. Sorry,
It was pretty funny.
I've got a middle school boy sense of humor.
Yeah, we all do. Speaking of which,
That's gross. All right, let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
So, what were you telling me about before the show? You got to catch me up again.
What was I telling you about?
Yeah.
You mean like all the drama and stuff?
The internet drama.
Oh gosh, man. Internet drama's been crazy today, but you know, it's okay because I'm still standing, as Elton John said. Yeah.
You know, eventually I'm just going to start saying that I don't know people that I do know just to see this reaction.
Are you laying on Kermit? You're laying on Kermit, aren't you, Wook?
No, leave him alone.
I'm just going to bring the mole out. Maybe she's born with a mole. Mole.
Anyway, internet drama.
Yeah, what's up, Punk Trace? Yeah, so, but yeah, unfortunately, Kevin Conway died, the voice of Batman for, gosh, man, so many people. And that was sad. But yeah, no, internet drama today. I'm good, man. I'm feeling really good. People have... Yeah, you know, people are people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's okay. It's all good. All right, so shall we get into a serious conversation? What's on your mind, Pastor Micah?
Pastor Micah. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so my technical job title is student ministries director. Right.
Ooh, okay.
Which for context,
that doesn't roll off the tongue though as well.
No,
Student ministries director Micah.
And I'll. I wasn't. Never mind.
What?
For context,
What do you think I was gonna say?
No, I was gonna say something. I decided I probably shouldn't.
Probably not a student ministry director. No, probably
not a funny thing to say. So, for context, I work for a church, right? One of my several roles that I do to make money, and so the student ministries director. That's basically a way of saying. That's a fancy way of saying that I'm a youth pastor, except I'm not cool enough to be called a youth pastor, right? And so, Enosh, like I have like my own opinion on like the whole like pastor thing, right? Like the title and all that. But I'm curious. So like you call me Pastor Micah. There's other people that call me Pastor Micah, even though like I don't think technically by definition I'm a pastor.
Okay.
Right. And so like, but I remember I actually like I push back against that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But then, what was it that you said like a couple weeks ago that made a lot of sense?
Well, you know, because the thing is that anybody in a leadership position, and now you're going to get me in trouble for saying the word leadership because you talk about the drama. And Sheree, are you serious that like you didn't hear about the drama? But okay. Anyways, yeah. So people who are in leadership, I went to a conference a couple years ago.
Oh, just to clarify, are you talking about in a church context?
Church context. Church context, yeah. I mean, because that's what you were talking about. So, in a church context, I love this show. We literally went from talking about nut meat to now talking about this. This is great.
That's all I think about.
Nut meat?
No, church stuff.
Oh,
I work for a church, and so it's like I'm always thinking about
Okay.
church and like ministry and stuff like that.
So you know, we may open this up for calls later, Nerd Costa Nostra, if you want to call in. But no, so what I was saying is I went to a conference, and a guy named Paul Baloche, or Paul Baloche, whatever you want to call him. He's a famous worship leader. He has no, I'm good. He has written a ton of songs people do in churches and stuff like that. But he mentioned the fact that like when you're up in front of people, when you're leading people in general, you are pastoring them. To pastor just means to lead.
Yeah.
Right. We put so much emphasis on this, pastor thing and what that means and stuff. And I get it. But at the same token, like if you're leading, like I used to tell people on my teams, like, this is your church right here. Like if I had a person singing, because we were part of a very large church. And so I put them in front and I'd say, you don't have to worry about everybody over on the other side of the building, because there's 700 people in this room right now. Right. Concentrate on these people right here in front of you who you can connect with, who you can make a difference for today. You can smile with them, you can lead them, and make them feel comfortable and welcome and stuff. And it just showed me that pastoral care is something that's very, very important in a church. And unfortunately, a lot of times churches are not as welcoming and as in touch with people, because we set all these positions and titles, and you're pastor of this and you're pastor of that, and the reality is like we're all called to ministry, we're all called to serve, and that's what a pastor does. And like this is, talk about drama, right? So this is what got me in trouble like last year with these people, with a lot of people who didn't understand where I was coming from, because when I talked about the fact that I was a leader in the Snyder Cut community, right? I wasn't saying that I was the leader. I wasn't saying that I was in charge of anything or whatnot. But I had people push back on that. And like a lot of people DM me and stuff. And they're like, you're saying you're in charge. You're saying that you're leading. We're all in this together and stuff. And I'm like, I don't think you understand where I'm coming from and where my heart is. Because with what I do, I'm a leader. Like at the time I was a worship pastor, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a leader, but I'm not in charge. There was somebody over me, right? And just because I was a leader doesn't mean that I was like any better than anybody else. I literally, I had a role to perform, to help champion people, to help, get people excited, to make people feel welcome, and that. And I felt that I did the same thing, whether or not it's on my YouTube channel, whether or not it's with, the Snyder Cut movement, whatever it was if I'm excited about something, I'm a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Right. I'm getting people together, and I'm helping to bring people to where they need to be regarding that thing. And so that's how I looked at that. But I had people tell me, no, that's not what you meant. You meant you're in charge. You meant, and look, I get it. There are people all the time who want to say that they're in charge, that they are the ones who are the important ones. But that's not where my heart was at all. And so for me as a pastor, I look at it this way. I'm in the trenches with people. And I think a good leader is in the trenches with people. It's like you could have a basketball team and have a leader on the team, but it doesn't mean they're necessarily the ones in charge. It takes the team to play the game, right? And so I just think it's weird when people look at it just of like, that it just means you're in charge or you're this or that.
Yeah.
We are all called to encourage each other. We're all called to be there for each other, uplift each other, you know. And that's just the way I look at it.
Yeah, I think that's something great that we could even expand on if you wanted to, because there's so many things, and just for like context for everybody else, like again, like I work for a church, and more specifically, like I follow Jesus. I take that very seriously. That's the most important thing in my life. Like I don't call myself a Christian, because I feel like there's so many people that don't understand what truly following Jesus looks like. And so when they hear the word Christian, they get this negative stereotype in their head that, oh man, this person is judging me, and this person is...
I get that stereotype in my head.
Yeah, and so like for me, when I'm meeting someone, I introduce myself and I say, I follow Jesus. And I mean, basically it means the same thing, but it means like when you look at like who Jesus was and you follow scripture, I follow him like the disciples did, right? But unfortunately in American westernized Christianity, there's so much that's different about than biblical Christianity.
Oh yeah, Nerd Coast Nostra just here says, unfortunately, many churches and their leaders preach a message of non-judgmental or non-judgment, but behind the scenes, they do judge and seek some level of authority. Growing up as a PK, I would see this all the time. Absolutely, man.
I agree.
Absolutely. And, and that's the sad thing, right? Is that I never tell anybody, I never lead with, I'm Pastor Enosh.
Exactly.
Right. Unless it's at the service, because what I find is, there is a time and a place to say that. But when I do say it, you know what it's in the context of I want to make sure that not that I'm pastor. That's not the important thing. I want you to know that you were seen.
Yeah.
If it's somebody new, I want them to know that well, you've met James, my James and Mandy, right? So the first Sunday that they came, we were in the service. We had just taken over the church. It was last December. We had just taken over the church, and we had like 7 people, right? So it's not like they were throwing the whole service off by walking in 15 minutes late, right? They were actually looking for me because his mom is friends with my aunt, and so they were looking for a church, and she told them go to Enosh's church, and they went to the other place that I went, and I wasn't there, so they were looking for me, and so they found the place. So they walked in about 15 minutes late, and I just stopped what I was doing. Like, it's not going to be that big of a deal, man.
Yeah.
If I walk out and I say hi to these people, and I walked out and I said, hey, I'm Enosh. I'm the pastor. What's your names? Like James and Mandy and stuff. And I said hi to, their boy, their sons. And they talked about once I did that I stopped everything and I walked back up and we continued where we were going from. After the service, they came to me, they're like, we're in.
Yeah. Because it communicated to them that
nobody had ever done that to them before.
It communicated to them, I feel like, that they were probably important.
Yep.
That they were worth stopping service. No matter how many people are involved in it, it's like, wow, you're going to stop service to come and make me feel welcome.
That's what I love about where I'm at right now, because I did church the programmed way for the last, since probably about 2005.
And by programmed way, you mean like church running as an organization.
Yeah.
Right.
And we got our order, set. Like, we do not deviate from this.
A service for the most part.
Somehow the Holy Spirit will work somewhere in there, but we pray that God works somewhere in there. But we're not going to stop what we're doing because we got it timed.
Yeah. And service is more entertainment than anything else, really. And like, I feel some type of way sometimes about like just talking about this. If you're in the middle of service, for example, and someone comes into service, it almost feels like a distraction. It's like, oh man, you came in late. Like, I'm just gonna pretend like I don't see you or whatever.
Right.
I'm not gonna talk to you after. It's like you interrupted my entertainment. You interrupted my concert. It's like, but then if you look at scripture, I think we could literally take however many people or as few people as we wanted. We could gather around this table right here in a living room. We could eat. We could dive into the word together. We could talk together. We could pray together. And biblically, I think that is just as much, if not a more accurate picture of what the church is.
Oh yeah,
as a gathering, anyways.
Oh, for sure.
'Cause
We
the
could
church
do.
is not
We could
just a
literally
meeting,
do it.
you
We
know?
could literally do it here online.
Exactly.
Like right after we took the church in January, my whole family got COVID, right? And like, I'm no longer at the church of 2,000 people where there's staff up the wazoo. There's more staff at the place that I was at than there
are
people
in
at
the
my
new
church right now, right? And so the thing is, like, nobody can just fill in for me or do whatever. So it's like I had to tell everybody, look, we all got COVID.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to, do church online this week in a different way. I had to do it from the toy room, right? And I did, and I preached from the toy room, and I grabbed my guitar and we did a little thing, and stuff. But we still had church because it's not important, and that's my heart too, man. That's really my heart too, is I'm just really sick of, that's why, guys, for all of you guys who saw me like this week, I was kind of on a tear this week.
Yeah.
With just a lot of just nonsense. I'm tired of fakeness. I'm tired
of authenticity.
Yeah, I want to be authentic, which makes me laugh when like people in the YouTube world get me like start talking bad about me, like start talking about clout and YouTube stuff and everything. Yeah, dude, I got this YouTube channel. Like I want the YouTube channel to be entertaining, right? When people sit and watch a regular episode of Poindexter Lounge, I want it to be entertaining. I want it to be informative about the subjects that we talk about the entertainment industry. Like Chris here is talking about, he's like, awesome to see that there are other spirit-filled believers in the Snyderverse fandom. God bless you guys. Chris, DC Comic Squadcast. I like them. I love them a lot.
That's something else cool that is like, I relate with nothing in that comment at all.
Yeah, because you're not in the nerd world.
Other than that, we follow Jesus.
Right.
And if you follow Jesus, that's the main unifier.
Yeah.
Like everything else.
But see, that's why I'm cool, Chris, is because I relate on all of those things.
But like, the point being, like, if you follow Jesus, you could look different, you could talk different, you could have a different, everything about you could be different than somebody else. But if you both follow Jesus, that's the only thing that matters at the end of the day, your family, because of that.
Dude, that's it. And that's just why, like I laugh when people are just like, oh, the YouTube channel this or this or that, right? Because it's like, anybody who knows me in real life, that's why, like, I'm really kind of glad that we got the Bully Sticks Direct thing, because I've been making like videos with my dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
And there are so many times, Micah, that I just come home or I get done with nonsense, tweeting and stuff, interneting and attacks and all those things, people attacking your character and who you are. And people always want to bring my faith into it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Part of me feels bad for them because, right, I know that they probably have an opinion of what it means to be a pastor, right? And if I don't fit that for them, now, like, you know what I mean? Like, if they have a beef with me, then that's where they automatically go, right? Well, you're not being like a pastor. Like, somebody asked me this week because I didn't agree with them about something regarding the Snyderverse, right? A string of movies by director Zack Snyder, that I was somehow like, and you're a pastor, and you're attacking somebody else because they're doing it. And I was like, I'm not attacking anybody. I'm stating an opinion.
Yeah.
Jesus never didn't. There's nowhere in the Bible where it says that I can't have an opinion about nerd stuff.
Yeah.
And not be a pastor, right? And I said then I kind of jokingly said, because I just kind of felt that people were liars and grifters. I just was kind of like, actually, I talked to Jesus, and they got this wrong too. They totally didn't understand that I was being like sarcastic. Because I was like, I actually talked to Jesus, and Jesus said he was tired of your crap too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But they were like, oh, Enosh now thinks he's talks to Jesus.
Well, what do you think praying is?
Right. Like, they're like, oh, Enosh just, bears the whole burden of the fandom on his back, just like Jesus bore the cross. And it was just like, okay, you know what? You're never going to win those sarcastic, back and forth. But that's why, like, you've met me at a weird place in my life, because for the last 3 years, I have just done nothing but hit hard this whole, every night, man, I was streaming. Okay. Every night, man. Like when I'd be working full time even. I had to be to work at 9 a.m., but I'd be up until 4 or 5 in the morning streaming. Because COVID threw me way off. And so I was up anyway. So, man, from midnight till 4 or midnight till 5, I was doing my show. But in the last 5-6 months, maybe, I've needed to take a break. First of all, physically.
Yep.
Physically, I needed to take a break because I've been exhausted. But then also spiritually, I think I needed to as well, because like for example, coming back this week and doing a couple of shows and stuff, and everything. And people are like, oh, well, you're streaming. You make these videos about this and this. And I'm like, no, I don't. I've streamed 3 times in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
I got some great people who we got the Poindexter Pantheon, which is a great group of people, including William. I mean, I trust him because he's so old. He, I know that he's gonna,
He's wise.
Yes, he's wise. We call him William the Wise. That's funny that you mentioned that, because we call him William the Wise.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But the thing is like I've had other people who could do different shows, and they've kind of held it down for me. And I've done shows as I could, or wanted to or whatever. But it's just I want to create an environment that, like, even though this channel is not a God channel, is not about that. Now, as soon as I started broadcasting my church services last year,
people probably tried to make it seem like it was just that.
One guy, folks, one guy, and I'm being completely serious. Don't laugh. This is completely serious. That's an inside joke. I'll show you later.
Okay. So I'm allowed to laugh?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's the funny thing, though. That this dude texted me and goes, "Oh, so this is good." Literally one service, dude. 6 nights a week, I'm doing nerd stuff, right?
Yep.
Making videos and doing all kinds of stuff. And all of a sudden, like, I show one church service because people know what my life is, and and I actually put it out to everybody at the time. I put out a thing, and I was like, "Hey, is everybody cool with this?" I said, like, you don't have to watch it, first of all.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't have to believe like me, right? But if you're interested in what I do, here it is. Right?
Yeah.
There it is. And so I started doing that, and this guy was like, "Oh, so this is a God channel now?" And I'm like, I mean, I'm here, and God's always here with me, so I guess so. People already know that I'm a pastor, but, like, it's like people use it as an insult. For a while, I had people calling me that pastor, right? And I was just like, how is that an insult?
Yeah. My
heart, like, I get it if you got this sarcastic and negative view of pastors, and I understand that, because there's a lot of jerk.
There's a lot of church hurt out there.
A lot of church hurt, and you know what? And I'm sick of it too. And that's why the church that I pastor at, that we're building right now, is, I call it a lot of times, church for misfits and people who've been kicked out of church and don't like church, but people who like church can go there too, right? Yeah. It's a church for everybody, though, where everybody can feel comfortable and welcome and free. And I'm not under the burden anymore of being micromanaged or told you can't do this because this doesn't work. This isn't the way we do it.
Yeah.
Right. And I have freedom. And I'm just like, hey, come along for the ride. Let's learn together. Let's do things together. And I want people to see that Christians don't all follow in this same cookie cutter thing.
That's something I think about all the time. Like, I hate cultural Christianity with everything in me.
Thank you, Shuri. This is
really
multifaceted nerd pastor Enosh. Did we get this one? Nerd Costa Nostra says many people feel and are guilted to feel that they have to be in a building called, seen as a church in order to be accepted and included. And people act like we all have to say the same things, act the same way, talk the same way, vote the same way.
I know. Oh my gosh.
This week, I wasn't just ticking off nerd people and scoopers and shysters and stuff like that.
I know.
I was ticking off. I showed you some of the Facebook stuff, man. It's like I came up and, like, I'm tired of Christians. I'm tired of Christians trying to tell everybody how they should vote, who they should vote for, and if you don't, you're a bad person and stuff. And I literally saw somebody who I love, somebody who's kind of close to us. Like, I have other people in my life who know them better than me, but, like, I saw them making Facebook posts, and they were just like, "Well, I hate Michigan. I'm going to move to Florida now, where like, I can get away from all this because this is a horrible place, and I want to be away from Michigan because they voted for abortion and they voted for this and they voted for that." And I was thinking to myself, and I actually ended up posting it later. I was just like, or we stay and we try to shine a light into the darkness.
Yeah.
And we don't just try to get all the lights together and
Yeah.
go off someplace else so that we can all
You're not supposed to make your own heaven on earth.
No.
We're not supposed to do that.
No, but why is it, and look, you're young, but like, I'm still trying to figure out, man, at my age, I'm still trying to figure out like why, at what point all of us Christians got together. Well, not all of us Christians, but all the Christians got together and decided, you know what? That stuff about there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth, and God's kingdom is going to reign on the new heaven and new earth, right? And Jesus didn't come here to set up his earthly kingdom. He literally told the disciples over and over again, that's not, the Pharisees hated him because he was not trying to set up an earthly kingdom, right? Peter got mad and cut off a centurion's ear because he thought that he could take it by force and do the thing. And Jesus was like, no, that's not what my kingdom is not of this world, not of this world.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, we're going to legislate holiness. We're going to make sure that people know that this is God's country.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make it a Christian nation again. And we work in a public school.
Yeah.
And I had somebody tell me this week, Enosh, well, what are you gonna do? I was like, because I tell them, like, there's a lot of Christians at our school. We pray for kids every day.
Every single day.
Right? There's so many things that go on, like, and the kids ask us to be a part of stuff.
Nobody's
forcing the stuff on kids. We're not, we're not trying to.
I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for this, but today I did text my boss at Young Life, and I had to praise God because I had some of the 6th graders at lunch today. They know my name. That's really all they know. They don't know my job. They don't know that I'm a youth pastor or whatever. They don't even know that I follow Jesus, or at least I don't think they knew that. And so yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I see them praying together at lunch, holding hands and stuff. And I didn't say anything fancy. I was just like, oh, that's cute. Like, are you guys praying? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, who are you guys praying to? Because I'm trying to like take mental notes, right?
Sure.
And I'm like, well, who are you guys praying to? And they're like, God. I'm like, well, yeah, but like, who do you think God is? And I wasn't putting my opinion in. I just wanted to see what they thought.
Yeah.
And one of them said, Jesus. I'm like, okay. So I walk away. I didn't say nothing. Then I come back today, and they just so happened to about to be starting to pray. They looked at me and go, Mr. Mike, would you like to pray with us? And I was like, absolutely. And then they're like, well, can you be the one that prays? And so I got to pray with them and for them at lunch.
Yeah, well, and that's student initiated and student led, and
Yeah.
that's absolutely fine, dude. The first week, second week that I was at the school, group of about 10 girls at a table. I was walking past, and they said, "Mr. Fee, you're a pastor, right?" And I said, "Yeah," and they said, "That's really cool." And I said, what are you girls getting ready? What are you guys doing here? Because they were all holding hands, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you guys doing? And I wasn't even thinking that they were going to be praying, right? And they all looked at me and goes, well, we're going to pray. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. They're like, you're a pastor, right, Mr. Fee? Will you pray with us? I was like, like, yeah. And so they led the prayer. They prayed that day, and I just sat there and I just, look, people should be able to express their faith.
Yeah.
Right. And that's fine. But in the same token, I had people yelling at me this week about how public schools were bad,
Yep.
that everybody needed to pull their kids out of public schools. And you know what I said to them? And this is not a popular thing that Christians want to hear, but I said, listen, if you want your kids to get an education and to get religious training in the school that you send them to, great. Send your child to a Christian school.
Yes.
It's really that simple.
It is.
If you want your child to get an education and be around different kinds of people from different backgrounds to be able to know how to talk to different people and not live in a bubble, send them to a public school.
Yeah, because what happens, and you can correct me if I'm wrong or if you see it differently, but I feel like when parents, when they have in their hearts a pretty decent reason to put their kids in private school or homeschool them or whatever,
Sure.
what it does is it robs that kid of the opportunity to maximize their potential of making disciples someday. Because, the number one command Jesus gave was to make disciples, right? And I recognize not everybody knows what that means. And so, like, basically what that means is, like, we're supposed to try and follow Jesus and then also show other people how to follow Jesus at the same time, right? And it's like, but if you never interact with people that don't already know Jesus, then how in the world are you going to grow up and be able to interact with them in a way that's not I don't know. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Like,
I know kids that grew up and because they were so sheltered in their Christian whatever, their home, their Christian, church, their school, whatever, like they cannot even fathom how people don't go to church or they don't do this or they don't do that. And so they
you didn't go to church last Sunday? Oh my gosh, Aunt Sally, are you gonna be in hell?
Yeah, well, forget totally about like trying to make a disciple of them, but just being a friend to somebody goes way out the door because they don't even know how to react. They don't even know how to interact with somebody who doesn't believe just like them.
Yeah.
And that just drives me nuts. But it's like I said to this person, I said, go do that. And of course, that wasn't popular or stuff, right? And then they're like, well, I'm glad. And I told them some of the stuff that we do and stuff. And I was like, well, I'm glad that works for you. But what are you going to do if they make you teach critical race theory, Enosh, or about evolution? And I was just like,
yeah.
First of all, the sky's not falling. I don't know at what point we decided that social justice was a bad word. Look, there's always going to be people who use things for bad things.
The wrong way.
Right, and use things the wrong way, right? But Jesus told us all to love the downtrodden, to the pure religion undefiled was to care for the fatherless, the widows, and for people who were hurting and stuff. And it's like, I don't know at what point we lost that.
Yeah.
And I just told him, I said, we've lost the plot.
Yeah. And when we think about politically, because like, we had to vote like was it Tuesday?
Yeah.
I think it was literally this week. And it's like, growing up, I was raised on a one-sided view, politically one-sided. And now the more and more that I've followed Jesus, I begin to see how neither side has it right.
Mm-mm.
The side that and there is a side that tries to claim, oh, we're God's party.
Yes.
There was a certain president that ran was like, man, like I'm a Christian now and I'm gonna stand up for this Judeo. And I'm not trying to hate on the guy necessarily.
I know.
But it's like you can't claim that this party is God. You think God is gonna be confined to one political party, to a man-made system? It's like both political sides are equally evil. There is some issues, like to me personally, that are more important than others.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, they both, at their core, I feel like, are dishonoring to God.
Yeah. Well, that's why you got to go into that voting booth and you got to vote your conscience.
Yes,
right?
your conviction between you and God.
Well, and that's kind of what some of these people were getting at.
If you follow God,
yeah.
if you don't,
that's what
then
some of these
don't
people
worry
were getting
about
at. That was like, oh my gosh, this thing that we wanted voted for didn't get voted for, so now they're mad and they're gonna leave, right?
Yeah.
And it was just like, that is the most ridiculous thing. First of all, like when people are like, oh, the person I wanted to vote for didn't get voted for. I'm gonna leave the country. I'm gonna leave the state. I'm gonna leave the whatever. My thing is that, look, there are a lot of things that I do feel strongly about, like I feel conviction about, right, politically.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things about being on Poindexter Lounge is I have literally been in streams, Micah, where I have had people come in and call me a Trump supporter and a fascist right winger, and literally in the same video.
Mm-hmm.
Have someone else come in randomly and think that I am call me a libtard, leftist, whatever. And I laugh about that because I'm like, so what you really mean is I'm a centrist who just believes in the truth.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's going to be times that I feel one way about a topic, and there's going to be some ways that I feel another way. And you know what? Yeah, I know when I vote, I want to see all sides of the story. And I don't think people are bad for voting for one party or the other.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I don't believe that one party has it all. Nobody's got it all together. And honestly, I honestly don't know how to fix that. I don't think that there's like a fix for it.
No, there's not.
With this country. Let's get to some of the comments. Chris here says, example, the Lord spoke to me through the Snyder Cut DC movies. Before I was following him, I was raised in church. But when I would watch those movies, God would speak to me, pulling me back to him. Chris, you're not wrong, man. I have equated it many, many times to Zach has a lot of religious overtones in those films. Superman is definitely a messianic character, and was created that way. And no, you're not wrong, dude. There's been Micah, there's been so many times, like I could show you movies. Did you see Man of Steel?
I think I did.
Superman.
But it was a while
stuff.
ago.
But like if you watch those movies in succession, or like Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's amazing the religious overtones that are in those movies, that are in those films. I mean, when in the first one, when the villain Zod comes to Earth and he's going to terraform the whole Earth and he wants to kill everybody and everything, like, or unless Superman turns himself in, right, to him, and he's trying to get the world to turn him in and stuff. He goes to his pastor, and it shows Clark Kent sitting in a pew with his pastor, and basically his pastor realizes who he is.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what decision to make. And that's where he goes. And I love that, right? And then there's just a lot of religious overtones and imagery and stuff that come along with Superman. That's what I don't know if you ever read it. There's a really cool book called The Gospel According to the World's Greatest Superhero, and it tells the history of the character of Superman. And so Chris, you're absolutely wrong. Or wrong. Wrong. You're absolutely wrong, Chris. No, I meant you're right. Erin's always the first person to church on Sunday. She's from Australia.
Okay.
Says both Enosh and Tiffany do great, enjoyable services every Sunday, and I love each of their unique styles of delivering the message. Yeah, Tiffany has much more of a teaching style, and you're absolutely right. Cherie is dancing around there, talking about Chris. Nerd Coast Notion says some people look for an excuse to tear others down. You could literally be saving the world, and they will find a reason of theirs to try to tear it down. You're right.
Yep.
Chris says the first time I saw you post one of your church services on this channel, I yelled, "Yes, Lord," rejoicing that you were not ashamed when a lot of people like me only knew your channel from pop culture. Well, dude, that's the thing is like, here's the thing. There are some people who would do that, who would post that, but do it in a very aggressive way, right? Of like, hey, you all need Jesus. And I had plenty of people, Micah, try to tell me, like before I even started putting my church services on here, they're like, brother, you need to be using that platform to tell people about Jesus, brother. And I would just be like, here's the thing. People are going to see Jesus through me.
Yep.
Right. And when I started putting the services on here, it was literally just because I would tell people. It wasn't because I was like, you guys all need to see my church services because you need to get saved and you're all going to hell. It wasn't that at all. It was that people have gotten to know me, they've gotten to know my family and everything through the channel. And I just said, I would like to show you guys a different side of us, of what we do. And like I said, if you want to watch it, watch it. And that's the funny thing is like there's a lot of people who watch it and they may have never watched it under any other circumstance other than they're interested in us, and it's not threatening, it's not condemning, it's not aggressive. It's just this is who we are, and it's part of who I am. I'm a nerd, right? I'm a toy collector. I've got way too much knowledge of Star Wars and superheroes and stuff, but at the same time, the other thing that's really important in my life is Jesus.
Amen.
And why would I be ashamed of that? It's like when I talk to you about nerd stuff and other people about nerd stuff, and they're just looking at me like, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's like, wah.
That's literally
right?
what every single time, like 80% of the time you're talking, it could be about music even.
Yeah.
Nerd stuff, movies, like whatever it is. I feel like most of the time you're talking, I'm sitting there and I'm trying to be nice and I'm like, I am genuinely listening. I also have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
At all.
Right.
Same thing, like if I was to talk to you about the stuff that like I'm into,
Yeah. What kind of stuff are you into?
Wrestling, like that's like my sport.
No, I'm just...
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you like to roll around on the ground with sweaty men.
That's a very bad way of describing it, but it's
in
also
very
kind of
constricting spandex.
Very revealing spandex as well, if you think about it.
You're supposed to wear a cup.
No, you're not.
No?
No. In all my years of wrestling, I never once have seen anybody ever wear a cup, and if they did, we would make fun of them so hard.
Really?
Yes.
Was it visibly hard?
There's only been one person I've ever seen
that you made fun of them so bad for. I mean, yeah,
I actually did. I think my sophomore year in high school, I actually did wrestle someone that he got a reaction during the match. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I didn't realize it when we were wrestling. Thank God. I was actually looking. I was looking at the pictures after the match, trying to figure out if I
Looking at the
what
pictures,
picture was. Well, I was trying to figure out like what pictures is cool enough for me to post on social media, and then I see, oh, I'm not posting that one for the sake of my opponent.
Looking at the pictures afterwards. I'm like, what was going on in this episode? What was going on there?
Oh.
Yeah. Cherie says, I studied in a convent school for 12 years. I said Christian prayers every day at assembly. I played an angel in our play depicting the birth of Christ at Christmas. I'm a practicing Hindu. So, that's the thing, man, is I look at it like this. I have my own beliefs about God, obviously, about what that means and stuff. And I always tell people, look, I will have that conversation with you, but it's not even just like that stuff. It's like even political stuff, whatever,
Yeah.
like one of the reasons why, like, I will not talk about politics from the pulpit of the church is because if I'm talking about politics from the pulpit of the church, all I'm doing is stating my opinion, and I'm just talking at people.
And you're gonna alienate half the audience, no matter what you say.
Exactly. So if I do that, I'm talking at people.
Yeah.
But if somebody comes up to me and wants to know, like what I feel about a certain topic or whatever, I can have a conversation. But now I can actually have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
They can hear my heart. I can hear theirs. Because if I'm standing up there and I'm just preaching to people, I'm not going to hear what you have to think about that. I'm not going to hear what you think or what you feel like or how it affects you or whatever. But if we have a conversation, we can exchange ideas and understand each other a little bit better.
That's actually something I would love to learn more about. Like when Cherie says she's a practicing Hindu, I don't understand a lot of other religions, to be honest. Like that's something I used to be really passionate about, was understanding different religions. I'm very, very, very basic. And I don't want to understand for the purpose of like, oh, Christianity is better or whatever. Like I have my beliefs. I believe what scripture says.
Yeah.
I believe that, Jesus was God, that Jesus was the Son of God. I believe in the gospel of Jesus, all that. I also want to be able to understand other people, because if you can't understand them, how are you going to build the relationship with them?
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
And so like, unfortunately, like Islam is one that I'm interested in learning about, not because I want to follow it, but I just want to understand it. I'm curious about it. Hinduism, Buddhism, I'm curious about them, but it's hard for me to find material that I can actually I can learn about it, if that makes sense.
I've done a lot of comparative religions, like study and stuff like that. And I remember I took a class a few years ago where it was really funny. It showed me that like all the people in that class were white.
Yeah.
They were so white, dude, because and it really cracked me up, because one of the assignments was in that next week to visit a service from another church. It was supposed to be another Christian church that would be different than yours, right?
So what they meant was different denomination.
Different
like
denomination.
If you're Baptist, go visit like a Pentecostal church or something like that.
Right. Like, so different denomination, like, or culturally even, right?
Yeah.
So like all these people were like, oh, I'm going to go to a black church.
Yeah.
Right. And it was like, okay, that's fine. But you know what? The thing is like, that wasn't weird for me. Like all these other people were talking about like how this would have been like really different for them, right? Culturally. But the thing is like, talking about my grandma again, like we fellowshipped with so many different churches of different, people and colors and, and all those things, right? Like there's a Hispanic church in town that we used to do stuff with and have services with, and many churches, people of color and everything. And so it's just like, I went to the instructor and I said, look, yeah, I could go do that, but it's really not going to mean anything. I said, I understand if it's new for these other people, okay? And I'm glad that they're branching out and doing that, right? So I'm not going to look down on what they're doing. I'm glad that they're doing that. But that's not my experience. This is not something... me going to a church where it's predominantly black, because they even said, go to some place that might make you feel uncomfortable. And I said, I'm actually kind of offended about that, even that line that might make me feel uncomfortable, because why would I feel uncomfortable around brothers and sisters just because they're a different color than me?
Yeah. Or they have a different worship style.
Or they have a different
but I know
denominations that will absolutely not even worship with you.
Yeah.
If you don't, right? If you don't believe like they do. But the thing is like, so we started talking about it, and I started having to really think about it, right? And I finally said, hey, what if I went to a mosque And they just looked at me, and I said, I know it's not a Christian church, but it'd be something. I said, I've actually never gone to a mosque.
Mm-hmm.
I've never gone to one of those services. I don't know if I'd even be welcomed. You know, like I've known a lot of people. I've had a lot of Islamic friends, and I've had a lot of conversations with people about Islam and everything. And I've even had friends who converted to Islam.
Mhm.
Okay, but I was like, but I've never been to a service, right? And they were like, yeah, that'd be acceptable. So I went right out here, man, and it was unusual for me because honestly, nobody spoke to me. But the service was very interesting. It was, you know what I mean? Like I understood what was happening. I understood what was going on. And my dad is a devout Jehovah's Witness. And every time I've ever visited him, I go and visit the Kingdom Hall with him, right? And I know there's some people who are like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. It's, you know, false this and that and everything." But you know, my thing is like I want to know why people believe the way that they believe.
Yeah.
We should.
Until you understand somebody, how can you have a relationship with them?
Right.
You know?
Right. And it's not just about me trying to change them either.
Yeah. And Christianity is relational. You know, like when Jesus said make disciples, what he means is go love people as they are.
No.
Accept them, build relationship with them, and then at the end of the day, if they're comfortable and they want to know, share the gospel with them. You know, but up at the end of the day, they have a choice to make. You know, we're not supposed to try and forcibly convert people. We're supposed to lay it out in a way that they can understand it. And it's like, oh, okay, I believe that. I'm going to follow it. Or I'm not going to. But here's the thing. If somebody says, I'm not going to, and they reject it, but if you don't continue to love them even after that, I would argue that you never really loved them in the first place.
Yeah. Larry here says, I'm Jewish and you're my favorite pastor, Enosh. Keep it up. Thank you, man. Thank you. Well, with a name like Enosh, you know.
I actually thought you were Jewish when I first met you. I really did. Because of your name.
Yeah, I used to have a customer who, the first time he met me, it was funny when I worked at Kinko's, he came in one day and he goes, your name's Enosh? And I said, yeah. And he goes, you don't look Jewish. And I said, well, I'm not technically Jewish. And he goes, but your name's Enosh. And I said, yeah. And he goes, do you know where your name comes from? Like, and the dude started grilling me. But the thing is, it's funny because my grandmother was very much in growing up, she was very much in touch with the Judeo part of our Judeo-Christian heritage. So like, so we actually celebrated Passover for many years. My grandmother even came to our public school and did a Seder and it was funny because I ran into a girl a couple of weeks ago who came to our trunk or treat event that I went to school with.
Yeah.
And you know what she told me? She goes, you know what I remember, Enosh, about your grandma? She goes, I remember your grandma coming to our school and doing the Passover meal with us at the school. And she goes, that's a memory that will always stick with me. And so like he grilled me about my name and everything. We talked stuff, and he, you know, we had a really good conversation. But thank you, Larry. I really, really appreciate that. Says Nerd Coast Nurse says politicians are politicians. The majority will appease to whatever it is to get votes. Yep. Larry says grifters are going to grift. I just feel bad for the bamboozled and conned. Amen, brother. Amen, brother. Trump representing evangelist is also a con man co-opting religion for his narcissistic purposes. My grandma and I used to get into it about Trump. My grandma was one of those people who, in the latter part of her life, there were people who got to her and tried to make her very fearful of things.
Yeah.
And a lot of propaganda and stuff. And it's like I would tell her, you know, I would tell grandma, I say, you know what, there's a lot of things maybe from a policy perspective, you know, that like I didn't have a problem with Trump, right? And there was a lot of things. I mean, when Trump was president, it was the first time in my adult life that I actually was able to have a savings. Like we had actually built a savings, right? So there were some things that were working for us as a family. But anytime anybody was trying to tell me like, oh, but he's a born again Christian, Enosh, and he loves you. And I'm just like, look, I can't judge the man. I can't judge him on person, but I would just be like, look, I can't speak for all that. I just know somebody needs to take his phone away.
He needs to get off Twitter.
He needs to get off Twitter. He needs to shut up. He's very narcissistic. He's not showing the fruits of the spirit. I can't judge whether or not somebody's necessarily what their heart is. that's between them and God.
But you can judge how they treat other people.
I can, and this is very narcissistic.
And I don't want this to sound like I'm hating on him. I just, it's like at the end of the day, my thing is there's things on both political sides that I both agree but also disagree with, and that includes like the people running under whichever banner,
Shri says, "Don't worry, Micah. We'll make you a nerd. We will hold you down on the wrestling mat and force you to be a nerd without a cup." Scotty's my good buddy. Scotty's my good buddy, and he says wearing a cup in wrestling could actually cause an injury.
That is true. I agree with that.
Do you?
I think that's true. Yes.
So like if you're wearing a cup, right, and there's an injury, would it be kind of like this kind of injury?
His testicle sac is now so large, he has to wear a huge hoodie upside down instead of trousers.
Would that be like? Would that be the kind of?
No.
No.
I think it would smash things and.
Yeah, but it could cause inflammation, though. Is what
I don't want to think about it.
It was great that I've
watched too many videos.
Totally set me up for that. For that one. Okay, well, hold on. Who else is here? Yeah, no, but Scotty's right. Visibly hard. Shri says, "I was raised to respect every faith and learn from all faiths."
Okay.
Yeah. Lane says, "I am a Muslim."
So questions for those of you that are commenting that follow literally any religion other than Christianity. Would you be able to recommend quality material that I could go and learn about that religion? I would actually appreciate that, because I literally have, like, just for example, like the Quran, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is like the Islam version of the Bible. Yeah.
Well, it's not a version of the Bible. No, it's its own holy book.
No, I know. Yeah. I mean, like, so like the Quran for Muslims is to Muslims what the Bible is to Christians. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
And I've literally like looked it up online to see if I could order it on Amazon or whatever, and it's like I can't find it anywhere. Or it's like,
you can't find a Quran?
Dude, the only time I've ever seen a Quran. So this summer I did a lot of traveling on a plane, and I rode Turkish Airlines several times. They had the Quran available like on the TV screen thing, like in front of my face. And I never got into it because it was like, well, I'm not going to be able to finish it on a 10-hour flight, so I'm not going to start what I can't finish, you know what I mean? But that's the only time I've ever actually like seen it.
I thought you're supposed to be the young guy who has like all the Amazon.
I literally have looked it up. I have literally looked it up on Amazon before, bro.
Quran on Etsy in English.
All right.
Islamic bookstore. But Amazon. I mean, Amazon.
Yeah.
I wonder how many Qurans they have on Amazon.
Apparently, I don't know.
Oh, so look here. Okay, so we got a teal hardcover. You get it in teal for $19.99. You can get one a special edition with gold leaf and everything for $16.99.
All right, we get the point.
If you want to learn more, the meaning of the Holy Quran for $34.95.
I don't know. It's a little out of my budget.
The Holy Quran Arabic text with English translation, $24.99. The Holy Quran transliteration in Roman script and English translation with Arabic text. Would that interest you?
I get it.
$27.99.
You found way more Qurans than I did, and I spent a lot more time looking for it.
What English translation of the Holy Quran standard pocket edition?
Maybe I mistyped.
Pocket edition, $10.99, or Kindle for $2.99.
Maybe I mistyped it.
I think you did. Yeah, youngin.
But
let's see here.
This actually that's a really good comment right there, because like that's something that like I'm very passionate about talking about, because I feel like from the perspective of someone who follows Jesus, I feel like so many people out there misunderstand what actually following Jesus is. And again, that's why I don't tell people I'm a Christian. I say I follow Jesus, because they have misconceptions, they don't understand it, and That's something I'm really passionate about, actually. So, I mean, that's only from one religion's perspective, though. I can't speak on any others.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, and the thing is like, yeah, there's lots of religions have their own rules, and there's lots of people, like, Christians aren't the only ones who kind of bend the rules when it comes to the religion either.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
yeah.
You know.
But no, the rules of Christianity is like legalism and all that. Ah.
Thank you, Jason. You're awesome too, man. You're awesome too. I love you, man. Yeah, this is a fun conversation tonight.
Yeah. And we thought that it was going to be half as fun while missing the better half, but
I know, man. Our you know, but you know, Napoleon and Amarian will
love and miss you guys.
We love and miss you guys.
I was looking forward to eating cheeseburgers tonight with y'all, but you know, we'll do it again.
There you go.
Have a good weekend.
Yes, I like that all major faiths are represented in nerddom. Yes. Larry says, I'm such a bad Jew that I didn't even realize Enosh was a Hebrew name. Yes. Adam and Eve's first grandson in the Bible.
Wait, hold on.
It means mortal.
The
name means mortal.
What was their grandson's name?
The first grandson of Adam and Eve
was named. Was it Enosh?
I'm going to give you a hint.
Okay, all right. I actually thought it was a Jewish
This
name
guy
as well,
found
so it
a
turns
Holy
out I was wrong.
Quran on Amazon for his friend Micah. Yeah, Enosh. Adam, Seth, Enosh.
Yeah.
So Adam and Eve.
Yep.
Right? They had Cain and Abel.
Yep.
Cain killed Abel.
Yeah.
God gave them Seth.
Yep.
Seth had a son. His name was Enosh.
So that's like one of the minor details that I must have skipped over.
That's not a minor detail. The Bible says that when Enosh was born, men began to call upon the name of the Lord.
I mean minor as in like it probably happened over the period of 2 sentences and I probably just skimmed over it. I'm sorry.
You probably did, and that's why you have to pay attention, brother.
Yeah. You're right. We're about 10 minutes behind in the comments right now.
Oh, yeah, we are. Okay. Chris says, I'm off to bed. Oh, love you, man. You're probably already in bed now. Night, Chris.
Oh, my gosh. Look what
Saggy says, where is the black? That's a good question.
Hold on. Where's the disclaimer for Amarian? Because I feel like that specifically is for Saggy.
Oh, you know what?
The disclaimer.
Do I still have that in here?
I hope you do.
Oh, yes. It's if you are a female, Amarian will hit on you at some point. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Yes.
This is also true about Saggy. If you are a male, Saggy will hit on you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They got a nice 1-2 prompt.
But anyway, so for Saggy and for anyone else wondering, they're not here tonight, unfortunately. It's just us.
It's just us.
You get the less appealing, less fun half of the group.
Shree says take his phone away. That must have been when I was,
talking about Trump and Twitter.
No. It was. Oh, I was talking about that, or I was.
Maybe.
Oh, I thought maybe it was talking about when I was like reading off like all the.
That makes sense. Yep, that makes more sense.
Yes, fear is a more powerful thing, and it can consume people. Saggy says eye candy is back. Woo. I'm here every week, Saggy.
Yeah.
I'm here every week, Saggy.
Yep, I get to look at this eye candy 5 days a week at the school, and on the weekends if I'm lucky.
Go back and watch the beginning, Saggy. Apparently, they've been detained. Yes, the black people have been detained on the show. So if you're wrestling,
okay,
would we? Are you ever concerned that things are going to be out of place?
You're gonna have to elaborate. I'm not picking up what you're laying down.
You're wrestling.
Yep.
You don't have a.
And I don't have a cup. Presumably.
Don't have a cup.
Yep.
Don't have a cup. Are you ever worried that something's gonna?
That I'm gonna get a reaction?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Because I am very much attracted to women. I'm not at all attracted to men, and so.
Can I ask you a question?
I don't mind. Once when I was 7 years old, I sat on a banana. And of course, that changed my life.
What's the question?
Does that do anything for you?
No.
No, okay. Yeah, okay.
Hold on, are you sitting there wondering that the whole time we're talking about like different religions and stuff, and you're like, I wonder if Micah is scared that he's going to react to a man?
No, that wasn't at all.
Here's a trick my Nana taught me on how to make a peanut butter and jelly. First, get your jelly, then get your peanut butter. Ready?
Would you wrestle a man fully covered in peanut butter?
No, because they'd be really, really slippery.
Yeah, but it
would
be an equal slip.
So I would be covered in peanut butter too.
If you're wrestling a guy covered in peanut butter, I'm sure you're going to get peanut butter on yourself.
No, I wouldn't.
Today we're going to be baking Nana's birthday cake recipe. First ingredient is egg, flour, icing. Combine all the ingredients into a batter, and there you have it. Ready?
What's the point of why is he doing that?
So if things got out of hand when you were wrestling, if you heard this, would you stop wrestling?
I can't reach my penis, and I'm not mad. Are you? It's okay, cutie.
No.
You wouldn't stop?
No, I've
you
heard
keep
some
wrestling.
pretty weird things when I've wrestled.
Really? Can you elaborate on pretty weird things?
There's kids make some pretty weird sounds sometimes when you're wrestling, like especially like there's been times where, and I'm not the only one that's experienced that, if you're wrestling with someone who is pretty new to the sport, they're not good to the sport, they're not yet used to all the moves and whatever you want to say.
Mhm.
If you put them in a move that can be pretty painful and they're not ready for it, they don't know what's coming. I've heard some very, very weird sounds come out of them.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, you're in a different mindset when you're wrestling.
Like,
You're in-
sounds like. I think
Not
we
that
have.
far off.
I think we have video of one of your matches.
빠른 타이밍에 경기가 끝날 수 있어요. 너무 세게 맞았습니다. 너무 세게 맞았어요. 너무 세게 맞았습니다. 지금 이거 큰일 났는데요. 병원에 가야 됩니다. 이거. 너무 세게 맞았습니다.
So which one am I in there in that video?
I'm not really sure. I don't want to get into who you might or may not be. I was just curious. I was just curious.
What about back to the comments?
Okay,
There's
back
good
to the
stuff coming
comment.
in.
Okay, let's see. Let's see here. Hey Enosh, ask him if he can be the cream to my coffee.
Oh my gosh, what does that even mean?
You say you've been looking for a woman and you like a woman of color.
I specified I'm not looking.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
aware that someday
okay.
it's gonna come, but I'm not actively looking.
Someday it will.
Maybe, we'll see.
Okay, there's a lot more books about Hinduism. See, there's the 4 Vedas, and there's the stories of our epics.
Okay.
Ramayana and the Mahabharata.
So,
but the Bhagavad Gita. Oh, I got this, Shuri. Give me a second. The Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the book of teaching of Hinduism. I probably
Okay.
screwed that all up. It's so boggling amount to read, but I hope you find the best parts eventually. I'm waiting for them to see my comment.
I think, yeah.
An equal slip of peanut butter. Thoughts on Andrew Tate?
Who is that?
He's that bald guy, like the guy.
Oh,
yes. Whoa, excuse me.
Yeah, I know the one that is like a retired kickboxing superstar, whatever. Now he's like apparently he's like a sexist misogynist.
Yeah.
TikToker.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him at all. I only know what I've seen from social media.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of his stuff. I have seen quotes from him. I'm aware that they could possibly be taken out of context, so I don't judge them. Some of the stuff that I've seen from him looks very, very bad, very sexist, very misogynistic.
Yes.
So I'm not gonna defend it.
It's
I
weird
also
because
don't know
there's
the
some things
context,
that
though.
he says that, like, in the right context, I could understand where he's coming from. But the way
Yeah.
that he says it, and the attitude in which he says it, just go, yeah, I'm tuned out. No, even the things that I think could be halfway like a decent thing to say,
Mhm.
like no,
I do know. So like again, just for anybody that wasn't here at the beginning, like I'm a youth pastor, and I also work in a middle school, and so I spend a significant amount of time hanging out with like middle school aged boys. And so middle school aged boys are, a lot of them like Andrew Tate, like they're fans of him, right?
Bam!
And
you got it, Enosh.
Nice.
Bhagavad Gita.
As somebody that has not watched or read anything of Andrew Tate, I will say I saw something that Andrew Tate is for middle school boys, what Cardi B is for middle school girls. And so from that, I'm concerned if boys are listening to everything and just taking everything he says, especially if they don't have the discernment to know what is good and what is not good.
Good point.
You know what I mean?
Good point.
But again, I don't know much about him at all. So I will say this. I saw something on Instagram like a week ago or so. Have you ever heard of Ruslan?
Mm-mm.
So he's a Christian rapper and YouTuber, and I follow him. He's pretty popular. He posted something like a week ago, I think. Yeah. So Andrew Tate, this guy, right? Apparently claimed he was a Christian, like a born again Christian, and now I guess he's actually converted to Islam now. And he goes into a whole video explaining all that. I didn't go into the details, but I saw that and I'm like, that's interesting. Yeah, so he goes from atheist to Christian to Islam in a span of what, like 6 months maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Saggy says, you ain't looking, but the lights will be off anyways.
Looking at what? Did I miss something?
Sheree says, rule of thumb, when trying to read Indian names in English, it's pronounced exactly as it's spelled.
That's good. Oh, okay. Lynn. Okay.
Yes, you converted.
How long are his podcasts? Because I do love listening to podcasts when I have the time.
Have you ever, do you like clams?
I'm not a huge fan, but
No? Would you
No,
eat
excuse
something like
me.
this?
Uncomfortable for me to watch. Is that Lane Deli? Is that?
Yeah. Lane.
So Lane Deli, I looked up Andrew Tate on Apple Podcasts, and I have several results that are up. So is it Tate Speech, Full Send, Let's Not Meet? Like, what is his podcast that I should listen to?
Yes.
Or should I just do all of them?
All of them.
I
You should
don't
just
got that
listen
kind of
to
time.
everything.
Every single one of them.
Every single last one of them.
Oh, his episode, I mean, an hour and a half long an episode. I mean, that's not super long. I'll add it to my library. All right, cool.
All right. Well, we're almost at the 2-hour mark, and I think we had. I don't know. Did you feel that?
I'm having a blast.
I had a blast. I had a blast.
Yeah.
I had a really good time.
It was a little preview. Some of the conversation was a little preview of stuff that at least I want to get into on a lot more, in a lot more detail in the future.
Oh yes, yes. It was a good conversation. Thank you all for joining the conversation and for being a part of it. And I love when we can have like serious conversations and people join in and they want to be a part of those types of conversations.
People definitely do. I feel like, I mean, whether or not they say it, like people want to be a part of conversations that are more serious, that are more meaningful. I mean, yeah, comedy's fun. I love comedic stuff, but I feel like people also want to talk about things that have, meaning and significance.
Mm-hmm.
Like people, I feel like, want to talk about spirituality and stuff like that, but for whatever reason, we're in a culture where it's like, oh no, you can't talk about religion except with people that you believe with.
True that. True that. All right, guys. Well, I think it's a good place to call it.
Yeah.
And
Enosh, thank you for letting me hang out with you tonight.
hey, thank you for
It was
being
fun.
here. Thank you for being here, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. You can find me later tonight on the Vodka stream.
I might just tune in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there with my friend Dave and hang out and have some fun. And I'm sure that you'll see a lot more of us doing a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited.
All right, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It sounds like most of you here though right now, but if you're watching this later, please make sure to hit the like button for this video and then also subscribe. And if you like what you saw here, there'll be more black and white and red all over podcast episodes with the other 2 members of the podcast.
As long as they don't get detained again.
As long as they don't get detained again. So love y'all. Stay good, and don't like I always say, don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter, or that your beliefs don't matter, right? Or that you don't matter.
Period.
But and don't tell anybody else that theirs don't either. Right. That's
Period.
the big one, right? Like
Period.
we will defend our own thing, to the death. But like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But don't tell anybody that theirs doesn't matter either. But seek to have good conversations like we had tonight.
With an open mind, like a genuine open mind.
Absolutely. And
ask questions.
If you do that, there'll always be a place for you here in the Poindexter Lounge. I'm glad you like it, Aaron. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed this. I'm enjoying this. Sheree says, nice getting to know you, Micah. Lane says, take care. Yes, I will see you over there.
Good night, y'all.
Larry says, much love, everyone. Faux show. I'm going to scare Micah heavily with showing him some of the drops that I didn't show him on the live episode. But have a good night, everybody. Stay nerdy and stay real. Till next time. Bye-bye.